Alex Islam, the winner of the rules, you know exactly what I expect. Keep yourself protected. When I tell you to stop, you stop. If you want to touch gloves, now's the time. God bless.
After the recent release of a big interview from David Bagdasarian, rumors began to appear about the fight between Rafael Fiziev and Justin Gaethje, and after that this fight was officially announced. I think you probably know the outcome of this confrontation. Ataman will outplay the bruiser and send him to retirement, and after that Fiziev will have a championship fight with Islam Makhachev. This is a much more intriguing fight. Hello everyone, Fighters Are With You MMA Predictions channel. In this video we will analyze the future potential fight between Islam Makhachev and Rafael Fiziev. But before starting this video, forget to subscribe to the channel and like it so that as many fans as possible can see this video. Now Rafael Fiziev really shows the lights in the octagon. He is on a series of 6 fights in a row, and his last fights were against the lightweight tops. Brad Riddell, whom he knocked out with a brilliant turntable at the end of the 3rd round, and the second top on his list was former lightweight champion Rafael dos Anjos, whom he was able to finish also at the end of the 5th round. And right now, relying on the same rumors, Rafael is waiting for a fight against the American bruiser Justin Gaethje. And in the trailer, who, if not Gaethje, should fight Rafi, now he can be said to be one step away from a title fight if, for example, all the tops refuse to fight him. The UFC has every moral right to give a title fight to Ataman right now. As for Islam Makhachev, he will soon face Alex Volkanovski if he passes it. Then with a high degree of probability, the next in line should be the representative of Azerbaijan. Right now, Islam is on a frantic streak of 11 fights in a row, and in the last fight he stopped the true lightweight champion Charles Oliveira, who before the fight with Islam defeated such guys as Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje, Michael Chandler. In general, he calmly beat the entire top 5, and Makhachev took and easily finished this fighter. And so many fights, so much bloodshed, and finally these fighters will be able to meet in the octagon. Whether Ataman will be able to become the first Azerbaijani champion, or Islam will again take the belt to Dagestan, let's figure it out. I think it will be interesting for you to find out. Percussion style. Let's start with the title contender Rafael Fiziev. In the standing position, he feels great. In the arsenal, he has a lot of punches that can stop Islam. Knees, elbows, high kicks. If Fiziev puts one of the knees well on Makhachev's liver, then he will not be able to recover for a long time. Many may mistakenly call Rafael a knockout, but this is not entirely true. If you watch his fights, everything will immediately become clear. Fiziev is not looking for a knockout. He does not go headlong at his opponent just to knock him out. He hits only when he sees an opportunity, and that's why he has so many finishes in the later rounds. He will definitely surprise Islam with his stance, since Makhachev has never met such a fast drummer before, and for him it will be a new feeling. Rafa is fast, his boxing and kicks are at a good level. He is a fighter who should rightfully be in the top 5. Now let's move on to Islam's striking technique. Since his debut in the main promotion of the world, he has greatly improved in this aspect, which is worth the fact that he was able to knock Oliveira down. And Charles is not a weak striker. I have already listed who he killed in his hands. Islam, under the guidance of Khabib and his coach Javier, is making great progress. Yes, maybe he is not as fast as his future opponent. Maybe he does not have elbows in his arsenal, high kicks, so he does not need it. As soon as the opportunity presents itself, Makhachev will hit. As you know, Islam is a very careful fighter, and it is not easy to hit him, so I just think, but what if Fiziev tries to finish Islam in the first rounds and tramples like a tank on his counterpart? Islam will endure all this and start his more powerful attack. This option also takes place. The favorite in striking technique with a slight advantage will be Rafael Fiziev. He is much more experienced than Islam. He knows all the small details of this aspect, where it is better to improve, and where, on the contrary, to wait it out. In general, Rafa will be better. Playing from the bottom. Now let's move on to the main component of this fight. Without it, as they say, nowhere. Let's start with Islam, who only spends her fights in this way, pressing, then clinching near the cage and an amplitude throw, after which it is problematic to get up. Now in the lightweight division, I don't see such a fighter who could fight back against Islam in this discipline. The most I considered a threat was Charles Oliveira. But you remember how it all ended then. Islam destroyed him in the fight, leaving no chance for survival. Islam, in addition to his skills, has physical strength. Look at him. He is a really healthy man, and in most of his fights he is 2 or even 3 times larger than his opponents. But in this fight they will be approximately equal, since the Adaman is also not a small lightweight. Whether he will be able to transfer Fiziev, I think yes, without a doubt, he will be able to. It all depends on Rafael's preparation. But we will talk about this a little later. And so, what can we say about the fight of Rafael Fiziev? At the moment, we have not seen him with top wrestlers in the octagon, and it is stupid to draw any conclusions. Yes, in the fight against Dos Anjos, he showed that he can defend against transfers, but this level of fighter cannot test a prospect. He should fight with Charles or Darius to understand his true skills on the canvas. Now let's move on to training. As we know, almost always, Rafael trains in Tiger Muay Thai in Phuket. But before the fight with Islam, it is a very bad idea to train there. There is practically no wrestling. There are no current trainers in this discipline. He should move to the American top team, where there are many top wrestlers. Sanford MMA is also not a bad gym with elite wrestlers. Islam Makhachev will naturally be considered the favorite in this aspect. As I said, so far in this period of time there is no equal to him. Cardio spirit. Now let's move on to endurance as a fighter, and Fiziev is alright with this. But one fact that alarms me, Rafael does not show himself badly in the standing position. When he chops, it is not a problem for him to walk 25 minutes. But this is how he will feel after he is knocked down and all his weight is finished. And this will 100% happen. It seems to me that the Adaman will get tired ahead of time. I do not think that he will withstand such pressure from Islam. Now let's talk about Makhachev's stamina, and here everything is also great, but everything is exactly there that really scares me. In his entire career, he has not yet reached the 5th round. The maximum is 4 in the fight against Thiago Moises, and the rest of his fights he finished ahead of schedule. In general, both fighters in this comparison leave big questions. If I choose a favorite, then I will believe in Makhachev more due to his calm pace. I think he will be able to reach the final bell without asking for help from the oxygen mask. As for the spirit, here I will put equals. Both are 2 equally charged fighters who are ready to destroy for the sake of the belt. Neither of them has backed and will not give in this fight. Forecast. I think that Islam Makhachev will win this fight, and most likely ahead of schedule in the round of 3-4. I think he will start slowly, let Rafa work a little in the standing position, and then start his pressure and translation, and Islam will do this until the strength leaves the Adaman, and after that he will either have a sore or a choke.